Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Two for One podcast. It's been a little bit longer than we anticipated from the last episode, but we finally got the gang all here. We have all four of us in the same place at once, finally. And today, we've got a little bit of a special episode for you because we're going to be going through a bunch of would you rather questions. We're going to be posing it as these questions to NBA front offices, to teams. It's going to be from the perspective of the team. So, for example, this isn't one, but if you were, let's say, the New Orleans Pelicans, would you rather have Peyton Pritchard or Jordan Poole? Obviously, that's not going to be one of them, but for example, it's going to be in that style. So without further ado, unless you guys have anything burning to get off your chest, we'll get into these questions.
I just want to say RIP Steph Curry Under Armour brand. I don't really know. I don't know if you guys ever wore Steph Curry's. I feel like those weren't very popular shoes,
Hell
despite Steph
no.
Curry
No,
being like the most marketable athlete for like a decade straight. But
they
uh,
oh, Chris Vernon. He was saying how nobody wears Curry shoes ever, or how he never they fumbled one of the most like marketable
yeah,
best athletes. Or I'm saying the Curry 1 through 3 was actually pretty popular. I remember back in my AAU days going to practices when they started becoming more popular. The Curry ones were decently popular. Then the Curry twos kind of took off because I remember I had a pair of Curry twos, and they're still one of
mm.
my favorite shoes to hoop in to this day. I know Mitch is a sneakerhead. I don't know if you ever hooped in the Curry twos.
I wore the Series 7 and then I had a pair of the What the Bays. But it's uncanny to think that like if I asked you right now, Mr. Sherman and Josie, how many lines of the shoe does he have? Like Katie is at 18 right now.
I have
How
no
many
idea.
Currys are there?
I don't know. Yeah, because Nate's point, like the first few were pretty hot. He definitely like came on strong, but yeah,
Yeah. Would you be surprised to know that there's 12?
I was gonna
Yeah,
say 11.
that sounds about right.
I was
Yeah.
I
Yeah. And the last time that any of them were like ever decorately celebrated was the six.
Mm.
So
Right.
from 6 to 12 is entirely like, oh, Joe Schmo's shoes that have a little bit more flair here and there. Honestly, Anta has been putting out better product for
Ooh.
shoes than Curry has for the little bit.
Speaking of which, I completely had no, or I guess I knew, I didn't remember. I completely forgot Kyrie was signed with Anta after the whole Nike thing, and so
Oh
I
yeah.
was in 2K the other day. I was like, the Kyrie or the K1 Kai ones. I was like, what is this? And I'm like, oh, like I
And
forgot that
they
happened.
are
Yeah, they are
fantastic.
nice.
Interesting. Kyrie's Nike line was really nice. I know that for
Yeah,
sure.
they were
Hmm.
too. All right, enough sneaker talk. Let's get into these questions. I guess what's a good? I want to see which a good one to start out with is. I guess we'll count medium temperature. Let's start with the Houston Rockets. So if
Okay.
you're the Houston Rockets, obviously the big hole has been the point guard position. Okogie's filled that nicely. I want to know, would you guys rather trade for a starting point guard if you're the Houston Rockets, or would you rather roll with Reed Shepard and Josh Okogie filling that position for the rest of the season and let it play out? I guess we'll
Mm.
start with Dion.
All right, all right. I don't want to take a middle of the road answer here to kick us off, but I feel like I need a little bit more time. I need a little bit more of a sample size to see if Reed Shepard is actually legit. Uh, it also comes down to like who are we getting? Like who's on the market here?
Hmm.
This is tough. I think if I had to give you an answer, I'd say I definitely explore it. Like there's not a name that comes to mind where I'm like, oh, they should go target this guy. But looking at the Rockets as a whole, I feel like definitely, yeah, they should be exploring that. I don't feel comfortable enough to say that Reed Shepard and Josh Okogie is going to be my championship contending backcourt. They've been great. Like they've been, yeah, especially on Okogie's end, like better than expected, filling that gap. But yeah, I'd still be exploring trades, I think, if possible.
Fair. Who's next?
Let me
I'll
get
take
in
it.
here.
Yeah, good Josie in there.
So if it's just those two, that's not a lot of money. You're not gonna get a great player back. So if my options are trade those two together,
Oh well, no, it's not those together. It's more so go and try to get a point guard
okay,
or just
if
roll
I
with
can
those
trade
two.
Fred Van Vliet,
Yeah,
if
that's
someone's willing to take him, then yeah, I would absolutely pursue that. I've heard Drew Holiday's name mentioned.
Mm.
Um,
I'd
I
like
think
to
that would
have.
be a superstar fit there with that coach. But obviously, like Dion said, at the end of the day, it's you don't know who's going to be available, and Reed Shepard is so young, and it's not like I'm dying to get rid of him immediately because he can still prove so much. But I would look. I mean, they're in win now team. Like, why not look?
What
Yeah.
about Andrew Nemhard? We think that's a possibility?
No, I don't. I don't think Indiana gives up one of their
I
core
think they're
pieces.
focused on the tank. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
so you think they might give up Nemhard?
it would assist the tank for sure.
Well,
Not that they
I
need
think
much
they're
help.
focused on next year. They don't care about who's on the
Yeah,
floor for them this year.
you're
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
right.
yeah. I think in terms of Nemhard, if he's too valuable, no, to their future to
Probably,
give.
yeah, probably.
I
Yeah,
feel like
you'd have to
yeah,
really start like taking apart this Rockets team. I want to know what Mitch thinks though, because Mitch is the biggest Reed Shepherd truther.
yeah. I like Reed.
I
I just
mean, if it okay, like it just boils down to is it going to cost me Smid, Reed, and a first to get Derek White? And if so, then like you pull the
Ooh,
trigger, right?
yeah.
If you
Bill
can
Simmons
get
has been
if you
thinking
can
about Derek
package
White
like an
seriously.
Eason and Adams for a Colin Sexton, then there you go. You're laughing either way, right? Like you're
Mhm.
there's lots of options for you to go snag a point guard that's starting caliber in quotation marks. But in the same retrospect, like, is it just going to be a side grade from a Kogi while you're giving away firsts and youth? Who knows? Like, give me game 40 of what this Rockets team
Right.
actually looks like while they're clicking like that. Not to say that it would be interesting for them hard to get more of a run next to a superstar core, but in the same retrospect, Indiana has no. Where's the carrot for them, right? Like, where's they're going to be like, oh, you want us to help out Houston in return for like kind of ensemble of picks that aren't going to mean that much in 2 years anyway. So if Reed is even like 75% of what we saw out of like the last 4 games from him, I'd probably be still calm with just those two splitting what the duties are.
let's move on to the next one. So we'll stay in the Western Conference. We'll go to the Denver Nuggets. And right now he's injured, but this isn't the reason why he's been playing like he's been playing. After 11 games of Cam Johnson on the Nuggets, would you rather have him or Michael Porter Jr. on this team? Let's start with Mitch. You want to go first on this one?
Uh, I mean, I'm not gonna say that I'm impressed with Michael Porter Jr.'s play on a team where it's just a bunch of black hole shot chucking because that's not fair to kind of hold that candle. I will say, shout out Michael Porter Jr. career high in assists a couple nights ago.
In the first
Seven,
half,
seven of them. Look
six,
at that.
six, I think, in the
Wow.
first quarter.
I was unaware that the man could even get close to double digit assists if we're keeping it a buck. Like I don't want to downplay this man's vision, but it really is the if the ball gets into the rock stops at Michael Porter Jr. Now, Cam Johnson doo-doo butt cheeks for
Yeah, really,
Denver.
really doo-doo butt cheeks.
Stinky ass. However, Denver as a whole seems like they got a little bit of a synergy upgrade in terms of like cause by addition at this point, or addition by subtraction, because while Michael Porter Jr. might be obviously insurmountably the better offensive talent, Cam Johnson's vibes. All right, we got to talk about the underrated like level that he brings to this team. I mean, I'll say it right now, having Bruce Brown back on in a Denver Nuggets uniform probably just feels so good for Jokic. Like
Mm.
there's very little to say about like obviously Michael Porter Jr. is having an infinitely better year than Cameron Johnson, but the Denver Nuggets as a whole seem so much more of like happy-go-lucky. They're just a better ball club is what I would say.
Yeah, that's fair. Nate, this is the one that we went over that I actually did remember. And my first thought was, well, yeah, Michael Porter Jr. has been so much better than Cam Johnson. But
But
factor
Denver's
in
10-2, dog. Like
Yeah,
let's
factor in
yeah.
what it's done for Denver to make that swap because that is a big reason why they were able to bring in Bruce Brown, bring in Tim Hardaway Jr., who basically saved them last night against the Timberwolves. I think they're better off with Cam Johnson because not only the depth, but then also, why am I getting a
Also
call?
also the phone calls for a sales
Dumbass
call.
ringtone
Also,
going off in the middle of his take.
Anyway, I just think like the fit of Cam Johnson is ultimately a lot more seamless. Like, yeah, he's not hitting shots, but him standing at the 3-point line still spaces the floor plenty, and he's not like taking touches away from Jokic or Murray or anything like that. So, yeah, I think it makes sense, and he's gonna get back to like it's gonna average out here where he's gonna start hitting some shots. So ultimately, it was the right move. So I
He
guess I'd have to go Cam Johnson.
he can't be this bad forever. At
Yeah,
some
that's what I mean.
point, he's got to start hitting the shots.
Yeah, I would say Cam Johnson is not an outlier in Jokic's career where he's been able to make every single player he's played with throughout his career better.
Mhm.
Is Cam Johnson suddenly the one he can't make better? I think it's just a bad stretch and getting adjusted to this role. And I think Michael Porter Jr. is on the worst team in the league. Of course, he's having a better year. So
Yeah.
like I think yeah, no question, I'm still keeping Cam Johnson and rolling and seeing what they can be like in the playoffs because I think that's what this trade's about.
I'm gonna stay in the West. Fuck it. So now we're gonna go to the Sacramento Kings, and
Oh,
this one's, I
Oh
guess, more
boy.
so for actually
ouch.
you guys. Would you rather try to build a competitive roster around Domantas Sabonis and DeMar DeRozan, or dunk your head in a vat of battery acid?
Is that really what you have written?
Yeah, I just want to know your guys' answer on that one really quick before we get into the actual question I have for the Kings.
I don't think a competitive roster around those two players
So it's
exists.
the battery acid for everybody, right?
Yeah, if I could be the GM of the Kings, like I don't have responsibilities, so that'd be fucking
You
sick.
don't have
You just
you don't
you wait for the direct deposit to hit, and you go, all right, another day, another
nice.
no moves. Let's go.
Anyways, the actual question I have is: would you rather try to sell low on Levine, Sabonis, and DeRozan, or make one more competitive swing and try to retool the roster?
So
So
selling low, you mean as in like trading for expiring contracts and
yeah,
reset?
like basically getting the expiring
Basically, what their
deals, trying
value
to
is
tanking,
around
Yeah.
the
getting them
league.
for what their value is right now, which is not a lot. Like you're not getting a lot of draft capital back for those guys right now. We'll
Mhm.
start with Josie though, as he takes a sip of his coffee, because we haven't gotten to him first.
I think, yeah, you have to punt these guys. Like, what future is there? What are you playing for this season? Get into the lottery. They have their picks, right?
They do.
Yeah,
To my
or they
knowledge, I
should,
don't.
yeah.
They do.
Yeah, that would be crazy. So get what you can. I mean, there's no hope for this team. I think we can all agree with that.
Oh,
So,
yep. I've been on that train since they lost in Game 7 to Steph Curry.
Mm.
damn.
Well,
So
that
yeah,
train has been off the rails since that game.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think this comes down to like, do you trade for like the John Collins expiring, or do you try and get your like hat in the ring for Anthony Davis if he becomes available? Like, which path are we completely resetting this thing, or are we trying to go get like someone else's quote unquote problem, like an Anthony Davis,
Anthony
to
Davis and
keep
Zach
yourselves like
Levine.
somewhat relevant?
That
Because
would
like if you're the Kings, like from an objective point of view, like yes, you'd want to reset this, try and rebuild, but when you got to put yourself into the mind of the Kings front office. Like the idea of Anthony Davis suiting up for them, putting some butts in seats, is probably a pretty attractive option in the short term. Yeah, so it's just like, do you want to try and remain? I don't even say remain, but try and be relevant in the short
Well, yeah,
term
they
by getting
stink
like a
right now.
big
They'd
man?
have to shoot them. Do you want to take one more shot at going into relevancy, or do you want to fully commit to
Right.
we're the Sacramento Kings again?
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing. Is like, do you want to dip back into where the Sacramento Kings again territory and Kang's territory, if
That's
you will? I don't know. It's risky business when you're a small market team like the Kings. Like you can
and
kind
you're
of see the
then you're the
rationale for
Kings.
wanting to go get someone, but the ideal situation would, yes, to go trade for expirings, try and get a draft pick, reset this thing, and just see what you can do. But they also drafted a 24-year-old in the first round this year, so there's nothing to really start with.
Well,
Like you're really
and
starting from square one.
and they drafted Devin Carter in the first round last year, and they hate him. They actually hate him. They don't
Yeah,
like him as
I don't, I
they
don't,
want him dead.
I don't know what he's got to do. I don't understand him and Keon Ellis.
Him
Like
and
I
Keon
don't
Ellis have been
why they can't
banished
just.
to like left bench for the majority of
I
the game.
Yeah, reasons that are well beyond my comprehension.
Did we
I
get
don't.
did we get Mitch's thoughts in here yet?
No, what they should do is they should call up Phoenix and they go, all right, Royce and JG for Levine and a pick, and then there you go, you
Mhm.
get rid of Levine's contract,
That's
and
four
then
three shooting guards on the Suns.
well, because what you do now is you say, all right, well, because first of all, Green's not playing, so like you help them with that actual aspect and
True.
you get them a man who will at least suit up for them, and then for Sacramento, you get rid of Levine's god awful contract by taking on a guy with another god awful contract, but who's like 7 years younger. So, you look a little bit
Oh,
look a gift horse in the mouth. You potentially could move you could move DeRozan to like the Clippers. You can get like Derek Jones Jr. and something. Like there's routes to take if you want to get rid of guys while also getting like what I would say a little bit of value back. I don't think there's just a bonus trade in the league that the Kings win.
yeah.
So the more that I like go down the list of like who you could possibly get, the more disgusting some of these trades like become. So I'd say the Kings' best bet is out of one of these blow up trades, try to get a guy like Jalen Green back where you go, okay, there's at least some upside because of his youth still, and pray to God that that guy pans out to be the savior of your franchise. He won't. But then move the rest of your terrible pieces, and for the love of God, man, figure out what the fuck you're doing with these players that you draft, as in like ready now but don't play. Because Devin Carter, that was the whole pitch. The whole idea of taking Devin Carter is that he's a contributor. He's already got like the veteran hairline, so you just fucking play him
Jesus
and you and you
Christ.
and you let him lead. Unfortunately, the Sacramento Kings can't figure out what the fuck they've been doing since the Halliburton trade. So they're like, "Oh, we're just gonna collaborate a bunch of players who we think have talent." It's literally the 2K four-star for your four-star trade, except they've cobbled together the worst collaboration of those four
Mm.
stars. They've got no direction to go in other than hope to God that some team some way will buy off Sabonis from them and take DeRozan without giving them a bunch of shitty salary contracts, and then they just lose every game from here on out.
I would do the same.
Jaden Ivey would be an interesting guy for the Kings.
What about Ja Morant?
Well, interesting that you mentioned Jaden Ivey, because that would bring us to another one of our questions
Ah,
here.
Our intern had a speculation about John Morant, and we're just gonna say, "Fuck you." Come
Oh
on,
shit, my bad. Okay,
Well,
we
we
can
can move
let
on.
him-
We can move on.
no, no,
let
no,
the
no,
young
no,
blood
no,
get
no,
his
no,
take
no, no, no,
off.
no, no. Let him get his thing in. We'll save the Pistons for a few seconds.
Okay, if you want to be the most Kings, if you want to be peak Kings, get Ja Morant on the team. I mean,
What does a jaw
can
trade
you
look like for Sacramento potentially?
I mean,
Carter, Monk, Schroeder, two firsts. Fuck
there's no
you.
world. There's no way.
well,
Ja's
wouldn't
not
it be
getting traded.
Sabonis?
It's
I mean,
there's no way Ja gets
if
traded.
I'm if I'm Memphis, I'm also being like, throw Keegan Murray in that trade.
Uh, Ja sells like he's like 89% of the reason why people buy tickets to the games. Like there's no world that he's
Give me
getting
the other
traded.
15% right fucking now, because it's 100% of the reason that they sell game. Like,
Yeah,
I was
like
gonna say,
I,
dude, I don't even think half of Memphis fans are Memphis fans. I think half of them are Jaw
that's
fans.
what I mean. So like he's too valuable to the franchise. You could say whatever you want as a basketball player, but
He could
the
take a
business side of
shit in the
things, like he's
fucking
not
center
going anywhere.
court and he would still be
he's been
untouchable
taking a
in terms
shit in
of
center
value.
court this entire season.
That's fair. You're not wrong.
All right.
I was
All
gonna
right,
say,
guys.
like, what do we care about tickets or we care about winning games? Because
If you're
I
the
mean,
For
I
Pistons,
think
I
that
think
Sacramento, they care about money and selling merchandise. They don't give a
agreed,
fuck about winning games.
agreed.
all
I think
right.
Memphis does care.
So that'll bring us back to Jaden Ivey and the Pistons, and he has not played a game yet, and the Pistons have the second best record in basketball. Would you rather trade Jaden Ivey before he comes back, or it doesn't have to be before he comes back? I guess trade him at all for Lauri Markkanen, or keep him and hope that he meshes with the current group?
Holy fuck me. I would love Lauri Markkanen on this Pistons team. Oh. Oh.
It makes so much sense.
Yes, dude.
It really would
Could
be a
you hold
perfect
on?
fit.
Could you imagine Cade? He has reached that echelon that last year I said maybe he won't take the jump, and then he did it. And then you give him Laurie fucking Markkinen instead of a player who's not playing. Yes, please. I would be over the moon if you told me tomorrow that I would get to watch all 70-ish games of Laurie Markkinen instead of the 50 that he's going to play
Hmm.
for fucking Utah. Like,
And
man,
then not be available in the postseason.
like I'll just say this right now. That roster just makes so much fucking sense if you add Larry Markkinen to it. Because like it's literally been when he's in, it's been like the Tobias Harris, Isaiah Stewart, and then Ron Holland like weird four collaboration. I hate it. I hate what they're doing in terms of their forward spots because like it just feels really clunky. And it like surprisingly, I'm not disappointed in Duncan Robinson. He's been actually like fucking really good for Detroit, which you could have smash cut to me like 4 months ago, and I would have been like, he's gonna play like dog shit. Um, so yes, Lauri Markkanen in a Detroit Pistons uniform would just be so butter for Cade. That's just like that answers so many of the quandaries of this Pistons roster, and then you just give Cade another offensive option. Like yes,
I do with no
Yeah,
hesitation, so I don't know what you guys think.
yeah.
I'll let Josie go before I share my piece.
Yeah, I actually completely disagree with what you guys have just
Ooh.
said. Um, I think this is a button push, and for listeners who are not familiar with me, I don't
Mm.
agree when
Josie's not a button
rebuilding
pusher.
teams go out and get accelerate their timeline by getting this really expensive player in exchange for a bunch of guys that they should be playing.
First in the
Obviously,
East, rebuilding team right now.
exactly, they're first in the East without Jaden Ivey playing. So
Well,
why go get Lauri Markkanen?
they took the Knicks to 6 last year without Jaden Ivey too.
Markkanen's
Yeah,
almost averaging 30. Get him on
you're
this Pistons roster.
you're
I
you're
literally
at
I cannot imagine a more perfect fit right now next to Cade than Laurie. That's the
No,
like
I'm in agreement too. Like the basketball fit makes total sense, but end of the day, I think I'm with Josie because this is not a button that pushes you into contention. Like Lauri Markkanen's contract is so huge that like you make this move and like you're not done. But as far as like that's your core now. You're building around Cade and Lauri and Jalen Duren, and that's kind of it. Which I just don't feel good enough to say like, yeah, that's enough for them to contend for a title. It's just too risky of a move with how big his contract is.
That's
If
you don't
Lauri
think
was
that's
making
enough
like
with how
The
I thought you thought Cade was like the second coming of like Jesus Christ. I thought we were pretty
Hey,
on
he's
the
still on the
same.
team.
yeah, but I just I
I
don't know,
do, I
man.
do, I also do want to say this. It's not every franchise is championship or bust. For Detroit, pushing past the Knicks instead of in six could be their hallmark there,
Mhm.
their little flag that they wave.
Well,
Not
they are
every
a team
single
with
team.
championship pedigree, so
To
I don't know if I
championship
agree with
pedigree,
that.
but I don't know if their front office is really like, oh, we're going to push all the chips in to like win a chip at some point. I think they're very content with their little like we're going to keep tooling our youth kind of thing because I love this fit for basketball wise, and obviously yes, like the 49 million and the 53 million is a very like skid stain on the white
I
drawers
mean,
of
it's a
Detroit.
lot, but it's also like I mean, he's not old. He's in his prime. He is going to be 31 by the time his contract's up. I wouldn't expect him to be any worse than he is now.
No, that's not the
To
concern. It's more
me,
just like
to
the lack of flexibility.
I guess the lack of
Hmm.
flexibility is somewhat of a concern, but to me, let's say you don't have that much flexibility for those 2, 3 years. Cade's still only going to be like 25 or 26, 27 by the time that's done. So I think I don't hate going in for trying to open your championship window a little bit earlier because it's still going to be open as long as you have Cade.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I'm looking at their salaries. Like, there is still
I
where like you still have Duncan Robinson 17, you have Karis LeVert at 14, Ron Holland you could dangle. Like, there's still moves to be made, I guess, if you make this move. Fuck it. Let's do it. Fuck it. Why not? Well, Lauri
I
Markkinen
don't
is
know
in the
what an
trade.
exact trade would look like.
I got it right here. It's Tobias Harris, Jaden Ivey, and the great Bobby Clintman makes it work.
And yeah,
Looks
then
pretty cool.
And
you
what?
throw them a first or two, first or a first and a
Yeah, I
protected
mean,
first.
yeah, that's the other thing. Danny Ainge is doing this if you don't like sell off 10% of the franchise rights to him. But yeah, I
Yes, we're
salary
like,
wise,
and
that
he's
gets it
like,
done.
and then any kickback, 10% of every jersey of Marketing
Yeah,
sold goes right
yes,
back to my
exactly.
pockets.
Yeah, so the price is going to be high, so that's probably the biggest obstacle here. But yeah, I think it's good enough because yeah, like you said, even if it doesn't work out and they're not good enough, you'll still have Cade in his prime by the time that contract runs out, and you can still figure something out.
I also, I'm sorry, I'm on the side of I would like the Pistons to trade Jaden Ivey before the rest of the league figures out that he's just not that great.
Whoa, hold on now. If hey,
He's a
look,
good player. He's just not someone I'd really consider an untouchable piece of my young core. Like I
yeah, no,
think
no,
I can
by no
agree with
means, no.
that. I wouldn't trade him for a
I
guy
wouldn't
that
trade him for
expensive.
scraps, but I wouldn't
If
be
if we're
if
looking at teams that won a championship in the past few years, none of them made a move like we're talking about here. They
Mm,
made moves around the edges of the roster, and the Pistons would lose a lot of flexibility to be able to do that. In my opinion, if you do this,
hmm
you could trade him
Detroit,
for a much better role player that isn't going to cost you $50 million.
I to like yeah to kind of say it in hill build terms. Detroit is not a shot in the arm away from a championship.
Right.
They are not the, a new pair of socks away from getting to game seven kind of thing. They are a team that, getting Markkanen would obviously put them into that like that upper echelon, but they're still like again, if we put it in a 7 game series, I'm still taking OKC, still taking Denver. Like there's
Mm.
still a lot of teams that you could convince me that they would not topple. It would just be super nice for Cade to have a legitimate stretch four next to him that could put the ball down and create for himself. Because Cade's his history of forward teammates in terms of versatility, Tobias Harris has been the most versatile, which is insane to say.
Mm.
It's an insane statement to say that the best four that he's played with so far, in terms of being able to do it himself and eat, has been Tobias Harris. So imagine you usurp that with Larry Markkinen.
we're gonna be staying in the Eastern Conference, talking about the team that the Pistons played in the playoffs the last season, the Knicks. Mitchell Robinson. This is the one we're talking about. He is a free agent next summer. Would you rather extend him or shop him at the deadline? Not necessarily shop him, but at least explore potential trades at the deadline.
That's what that is what shopping
I mean,
is.
shopping is more so like actively looking for a trade. I more so thinking that they should just explore, like see what's out there, but not actively pursue
I
it. That's
mean,
kind of
where are you shopping? Dollar General? Because like, what is his like value going to be around the league?
Yeah, I don't really know.
There's something.
There's definitely something. I mean, when he's
Yeah,
on the court,
there's
he's one of the most impactful.
yeah.
That's kind of the dilemma I'm at.
When he is on the court, that is indeed true.
But
Because
also, like,
the
what are
last
you
time
trading? Like, what are you getting back that's going to make the Knicks better if you're trading Mitchell Robinson?
Well,
Because
that
I
it's
presumably,
not to make them better. It's more so the fact that if you're not going to pay him, then to get either a
Getting
wing
something for
well,
the
defender
asset.
or another
if
backup
you're the
big.
Knicks and you're making trades not to get better, what are we even doing here? Because the Knicks should be competing for a title. So I'm not worried about this summer. Like you got to be contending right now. So if you're trading Mitchell Robinson for like pieces down the line or something, that does nothing for you. This team is ready to contend, and he's got to be a part of that. So unless you're somehow trading him for a more reliable center, hmm,
That would be the only
skinny.
real. For me, to give my take on it, I'm not trading Mitchell Robinson any way in hell, and then I figure out the extension in the summer. But
I was
I
gonna
just
say,
didn't know if any of
what's
you are
the money
so.
looking like?
I mean, right now, I think he makes about. Let's see what it's at. He had a descending
He
contract.
makes 12.9.
Yeah, I thought it was about 12 this year, so it's 12.9. What does a potential Mitchell Robinson extension look like to you guys?
Woof.
I would walk into that meeting. I'd tell him that in the last 4 years he's barely scraped 100 games played, and that if he expects to be a part of this core, he's going to be taking a massive pay cut. That's what I would tell him. Because
Just
Jesus
like Jalen.
Christ,
I get that side, but then on the other hand of it, there's this guy has been the second most important player on a playoff team for the last three times that they've been there.
I just don't know. Yeah, like on the one hand, Mitch, you're right, but what other option do the Knicks have? Like I'm scanning the league for like a replacement here. I don't know where else they would go because he does
I,
make a ton of sense
can
with
I
cap.
interest you in Jakob Bertel?
oh fuck no!
No, you could not. You certainly
All
couldn't.
right, all right.
So yeah, I just don't know where that quote unquote upgrade comes from. They're kind of I don't want to say stuck because I like the fit with him there, but they're kind of stuck with him. He kind of has the leverage in this
Yeah,
scenario.
there's no team in the league that is dying to grab Mitchell Robinson to give them an upgrade in New York. Like there's not a
Yeah.
trade that exists.
All right,
So
we've hit our next quota. What's the
yeah,
next one?
we got our next quota. Okay, now we'll hit our Celtics quota
All
for you,
right, let's do
Dion.
it. Let's do it.
So
Oh
uh,
boy.
going forward, who would you rather have, Anthony Simons or Peyton Pritchard? I'll
Yeah.
pose this to Mitch first.
Why not both? Why are we being like why can't one exist without the other? I understand financially the Celtics are in ruin. They got to figure out what the fuck they're doing in terms of like who who's our guy anymore? Is it the guy who should have gone to Turkey 3 weeks ago, or is it the guy who's I mean, you know what? I'm surprised. I'll say this wholeheartedly. I know modern medicine is amazing and everything. I'm surprised Tatum's out there doing like fucking 180 like full on yams now because like some of the clips of this dude getting off the floor, I'm like, you can suit up right now. You can get out there and start fucking just pocketing in the corner because he's taking full strides. He's jumping. It looks great. Now, do I like Simons? I've employed him probably in the past like 3 years in fantasy, and this is the first year that I didn't. And I think it's because I had a little bit of a distrust with how many games he would start. Hey Dion, how many games has he started?
Same amount that I have.
Zero, and he's kind
Yeah.
of played a little shaky. I won't lie. The shooting is still there. He's ripping 8 a game on 40%, but Peyton Pritchard ultimately has just been not a better version. How should I put this? Peyton Pritchard's shot is not there, but he's ultimately like the better player. I think I can say like confidently ish.
I would strongly disagree, but
I mean, you strongly disagree. You have some pretty hard takes one way or the other. I would say it's a soft disagree if you really
oh,
want to boil it
I
down to
mean,
it.
Ant
Like
Simons
for
is Ant Simons has been a 20 plus point per game scorer for the last like three seasons, and Peyton Pritchard is a guy who's a six man that can't create his own shot.
I
Why can't
mean,
he create his own shot?
Huh?
he indeed can create his own shot. It's just
Well,
unfortunate
he
that the
can't make
Celtics as
them.
a whole aren't very cohesive
Well,
at the
his
moment.
no, he's a bad off the dribble shooter.
Yeah, he's
That
still. I'm looking at the numbers right now. I'm actually shocked to see that Peyton Pritchard is 62% on twos. Shout out to him. But
well, because
he's way
he
more of
doesn't take
a
floaters ever. It's 3 foot, five
yeah.
foot jump
That
shots. Like
that is
that's what it
fair.
is.
Yeah. I think Peyton Pritchard is much more of a point guard. I think both of them definitely lean more scoring, but Peyton Pritchard is much more capable of running the offense. Like he's got a little bit too much on his plate right now, being the full-time starter and everything, with no Tatum on the court to sort of support him there. But yeah, to me, I'm going with Peyton Pritchard. I think he just has more to his game. Simon's like, yeah, he has moments where he does kind of look like Dame Jr. or whatever, which is really fun. But start to finish, I think Peyton Pritchard is just the more complete player. He's the more valuable guy. I think
For
I'd have to go
what
him.
Boston is going to do when they're healthy, Pritchard makes more sense.
Hmm.
If this was a team that
That's fair.
lacked,
That's fair.
if this was a team that lacked Jalen Brown or a player of that like inkling, and you needed Simons to step in and be that Dame Jr.,
Yeah.
sure, but that's not what he's going to be doing in the Celtics offense. That's not who he is in a Boston uniform. So in the long term, Pritchard just makes more sense in terms of fit. And while they're comparable players, Simons would probably like to have the ball in his hands a lot more. And I think that's one of the reasons that he's not going to be in Boston long term.
Mm.
We'll go back to the Western Conference and we'll talk about a player who Josie briefly mentioned for the Kings before. For the Memphis Grizzlies, would you rather trade John Morant right now or hope he can return to form and at least build up his value again?
I've I've said my piece on this one. John Morant, his value is already built. His value is putting asses in seats, which is something that he currently does and will continue to do, no matter what he might do on Instagram Live or in the locker room post game. It doesn't matter. Like John Morant is just too valuable to this Grizzlies franchise. I would like unless you're getting someone that you think will sell the same amount of jerseys, if not more, which is a very, very short list of players that are all superstars, then it doesn't make any sense to trade him. Like Josie, your point about like the Grizzlies being a franchise that wants to win, that's definitely true. But at the end of the day, they're a small market team. At the end of the day, this is a business. Trading John Morant is detrimental. Like it's on the level as far as like
Don't say it.
Don't
betraying
say
your
it. Don't
fan
say
base.
it, please.
I
I
know
am
what
gonna
you're
say
saying.
on the same level of betraying your fan base, it is like trading Luca. Like obviously,
I
Luca's a better
totally
player.
disagree with that.
I
No,
do, dude.
I think Ja
When
Morant is
has
as valuable to the Grizzlies franchise as Luca was to
no?
Dallas, as far as like the
Okay,
fan aspect.
but you're completely disregarding the fact that John Morant has kind of basically spit in the face of Grizzlies fans and given
All
up
right, now
And
hold
his.
on a
yet,
sec. Hold on a
and
second.
yet,
Hold on a
they're
second.
riding
Hold
for
on.
him.
He has not spit in the face of Grizzlies fans. He's
Okay,
spit
I
in the
guess
face
not.
of
I guess
front
no.
office and his coach.
Yeah,
It
okay.
has nothing to do with the fans.
It's
Not
not.
not a slight at the fans at all is
It's
what he's
not.
done.
It's not. Okay, I worded that poorly, but if you're a fan, I wouldn't exactly be fond of things. Would you be? Would you be happy with
Hey,
how?
I wouldn't either, but regardless, that I can't, I can't speak for Memphis. They don't care. They're riding with Ja. That's their guy. Like he's putting asses in the seats at the end of the day. If you trade him, like you're gonna get. I don't know who their GM is, but the fire Nico thing, like that's
Uh,
gonna just basically repeat in Memphis.
now hold on a second. To the credit of the other side, Bane got four firsts. What does the other half of that dynamic duo get you? Like, what is Jaws, regardless of the statistical production? Like
Unfortunately,
you said, the value is obviously still there. Like you know what he does to your ticket sales.
the
So
I don't think you get as big of a package back because Bane's player type, like who he is as a player, the three and some D and do it all, a little bit of a do it all, everything on offense as a wing slash combo guard is more valuable than a slashing non-shooting point guard who's having the worst season of his career. I just think it's a really weird fit with Ja on most teams. Like me and Dion talked about it, I think for like a half an hour on the phone, just thinking of places that like legitimate places or logical destinations for Ja, and there just really like isn't one other than if the Kings are just like, fuck it, we're gonna give up whatever they need or whatever they want for John Morant, and we're gonna make John Morant our franchise player. I just don't see like a legitimate destination for him. On top of the fact that the rest of you alluded to, he is their franchise right now.
Yeah, like I think there are destinations. Like you could fit a square peg into a round hole and like find destinations for John Morant, but the return package, like you said, like Mitch, like how much they got for Bane, they're not if they're not getting
yeah.
more than that for John Morant, like there will be riots in the streets of Memphis. Like I just think that he's just too
Who's
beloved on.
traded Desmond Bain for more first round picks
That's
than
what I
John
mean. Like,
Morant?
do you remember when Luka
He's
got traded and like
yeah.
all the Mavs fans were outside the arena and that one dude was outside like in the coffin or whatever, like hands up to the sky or whatever. Like I think it would be like that. Like
Yeah.
probably not to the same degree because obviously Luka is the better player, but I think it would be a very similar dynamic there where like the fans would just be in shambles.
Yeah.
So I don't think he gets traded. I think you have to just ride it out. Maybe this summer, like maybe if it becomes so untenable over the course of the season, then Grizzlies fans might start to turn on him
Maybe
because, like
if
you
he
said,
throws
he
a
has been terrible.
if he throws a bowl of hot soup at Thomas Laswola, maybe
Yeah, that might turn the tide. But until then, yeah, I think he's just too valuable to to the health of the franchise.
I think if you talk to real Grizzlies fans that have been around, they enjoyed the previous team that was going to Western Conference Finals more than this team. I don't think that Ja Morant is a Luka-like figure. Luka dragged that franchise to the finals. This team has won one playoff series.
Mm.
I mean, it's not the same. Ja Morant doesn't help you win. The question is, should we trade Ja Morant right now? I'm not sure if the answer is yes, because as you guys said, the package has to be there. I just don't think Ja Morant is the future of Memphis Grizzlies basketball. Uh, I don't care what the dollars say. I care about what the product is out there. And I don't think Ja Morant helps that in Memphis.
Mm.
Have we ever seen, like, I guess, an all NBA point guard at 26 already washed?
Does Ben Simmons count as a point guard?
Again, dude, he's quiet quitting Memphis. This has nothing to do with him being
I know,
washed as a player.
I
Like,
know, I know.
I don't know.
I
I
was
don't know if
kidding.
it's just that though, Mitch, because he doesn't
I definitely
I'm
think
so sick and tired of seeing all these different angles of it. Dude, they traded away his fucking best friend, sent him to a different franchise to say, go fuck yourself. They've done nothing to put anything else around him. They've constantly told him that you need to adjust your play style. They have a coach that doesn't believe in him. They've told him that he's not a superstar. How much more does this man have to take? And
Well, he
like,
was
again,
already kind of
he did terrible, stupid, shitty things when he was 24 years old. But like, dude, how many times does this man have to get beaten down by his own franchise for everybody to go, okay, maybe we should cut him some slack? Like, get him the fuck out of Memphis, man. Like, I'm
Mhm.
so sick and tired of this.
I think you're
Every
giving
every
him.
yeah, I'm giving him more credit because it's so annoying to see that the fiddle be like, oh, thank God Jimmy got saved, but it's like, no, Ja is obviously the reason that the Memphis is doing
Mm.
nothing. Like we talk
Yeah.
about,
Well, Jimmy
we
didn't
talk
do a bunch of stupid off the court shit.
again. I just told you the off the court shit is like, yes, do not excuse the off the court shit. But Jimmy was throwing up shots, hitting the side of the backboard, and laughing as he ran back down the court, and everybody was like, well, thank goodness he got out of there. Like people hated it in the moment, but then they're like, oh, okay, cool, he got to where he wanted to be. I would just like the people to see where Ja ends up, and then go, oh, look at that, he's playing in Miami, he's putting up 24, 10,
Mhm.
and 3 again. Like it's just for the moment, let the man get his lashings through the franchise and then get out of there because it's deplorable. Because Memphis, I don't know how much of you guys tune into Memphis games because they are fucking
They're
awful.
I
not
To
saw
watch.
the
good, man.
Grizzlies in the
They-
game against or the Celtics in the Knicks game, and they were both awful.
It is like
Awful
watching
times, yeah.
it's watching ChatGPT coach a franchise. The rotations are some of the most ridiculous. People will be on the most you will see the most ridiculous like, "Oh my God, they're heating up," and then sub. And then full
Mhm.
5 man out. It makes no sense. I would be frustrated as a player. I just think we need to stop being like, "Oh, Ja this, Ja that," and just be like, what else is Memphis doing wrong?"
Yeah, Mitch, I think you're 100% right. The only reason why I'm not defending Ja is just because of how putrid he's been on the court. Like, if he wasn't doing this whole quiet quitting thing, then yeah, I'd be in full support of like Ja's in the right here. But you gotta still play with some effort. Like, you still gotta play to win
Yeah,
here.
no, like if you want to get out of there, like you got to get your trade value up. But at the same time, like I would be so defeated if
Yeah.
every step of the way it's just been another hurdle for you, another person telling you that you need to change everything about your game style. Like I understand why they wanted to bring in an entire like new dynamic to the coaching staff, but it has done nothing but
No, I
piss
hate
off
it.
your franchise
Yeah,
player.
I hate it.
I think
These
well,
EuroLeague style rotations are terrible.
I don't know what they're actually trying to do, and I think Ja is part of that though. And Ja has never struck me as a player who is team first. I think his actions off the court have proved to me that he's not team first. What?
Well. I think coming
I think
into
they
the
had good
league,
team chemistry, but
no, I don't know because like coming into the league, one of my favorite things about Ja was how like team friendly he was and how much he lifted up. Like similar to how I think we think about Halliburton now. Like he was, what do they call it? I don't know the phrase. The tide that rises all sea. What is that? You know what I'm trying to say.
no.
Like
But I
I
get what you're.
loved like his energy, his ability to like take guys with him, sort of thing. Like he was such a willing passer in that way too. Like I feel like he's definitely turned a corner in the wrong
It's
way
the
as far
tide that
as
lifts all boats.
thank you. Yes,
Sorry,
you
well,
got it.
my main point being or regression and Ja being on a downward trajectory didn't start with the Swolo becoming head coach, and
But
it didn't
yeah,
start
right.
with Taylor Jenkins being fired. He was bad before that, and he has been not as good as he's supposed to be for the
Hmm.
past year and a half, 2 years at this point. So my thing isn't just I'm out on Ja because he's being completely screwed over by the franchise, which he is. It's that he's not doing himself any favors, and he's not. I haven't seen a really good stretch of Ja Morant basketball put together consistently in a really long time. All right, so I guess we'll move to one. We'll wrap it up with we'll go with one more. This last
Okay.
one, and this is going to stay in the Western Conference for the Dallas Mavericks. So I guess not if you're Nico Harrison anymore. So
I
if
can't
Okay,
wait
no
to
more Nico
now
fucking
Harrison.
trash
acting
whatever.
front office members of the Dallas Mavericks,
Michael
would
Finley
you?
and who's the other guy? I
I
forget his
only know
name.
Finley.
Don't even. It's
I
Michael
did
Finley.
see the little no. There's isn't there another commissaire, whatever they're called? Like
Yeah,
they've
they're
got
like co interim
yeah, I
GM.
don't know what the fuck.
I do know Cuban's back in the mix as well.
Is he?
Yeah, he is.
Well, he never because remember he exercised his shares, but he never sold all of them,
Yeah,
right? Like so he still
he has
Yeah,
like a
but
very
he
he's
still
like a
had a little
minority.
dipple.
Nico
So
took him out of basketball talks, essentially.
so okay. Would you rather wait for Kyrie to get back and see what you have,
Oh
or
God.
shop AD at the deadline and try to tank with your this is the only draft pick that they have for the next few years?
Tough.
Mitch, you look
Say
like
it
you,
again.
Oh, so okay. If you're the Mavericks, would you rather wait for Kyrie to get back this season and see what they have, try to make a playoff push, or trade AD at the deadline because this is the only pick that the Mavericks own this coming season for the next couple of years? They don't own their draft picks the next few seasons.
I would
Hmm.
lean towards. Yeah, see, this comes down to like, what are you getting for AD? But like, let's just assume that you're not getting good value. You're getting like a reset sort of trade package. Like, I keep staring at like the John Collins expiring. I think that's going to get pretty interesting because the Clippers probably got to make a move. Um, I think, yeah, you got to do that because I don't like. I went back and forth on it. Like at the beginning of the summer, I was not in on the Mavericks at all. As the summer progressed, I started to see the vision. Nate's
I'm sorry,
propaganda started
man.
getting to
No,
me a
no,
little bit.
I'm so sorry, man.
But yeah, I just don't think that even with Kyrie, I don't think he makes this team make a ton of sense. Like Derek Lively just got back, maybe like that could do something for them. But ultimately, even at full strength, I don't know that this
maybe.
team is really more than like a 6 or 7 seed. But
Oh my fucking god!
yeah, I
Stop
didn't. I know.
talking.
Had to hit the
Sorry.
quota.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. It just.
That one was for the youngins out there.
But yeah, I think that like you said, this is their only draft pick that they control for the rest of the decade. Probably got to take advantage of it. Streets are saying it's a pretty good rookie class here, so finding a tag team partner for Cooper Flag and
Oh
then
God,
just
dude.
It,
just moving
it's
on is
also
probably the
just
best.
like crazy hot take. Maybe I don't think post ACL Kyrie is changing the trajectory of one of the worst teams in the NBA right now.
Right. That's what I mean. So like I think you probably got to move on. It's just going to be crazy that you're going to trade Luka Doncic and you're going to get like 9 games of Anthony Davis and then whatever that trade package is, like it's just going to make the situation worse. But I think by moving on from AD, like it's going to hurt and it's going to make the fans even more upset in the short term. But I think removing AD from that situation and just giving Cooper Flag like a second young guy, I think just helps you like kind of move on. Like it's a new era now. Like we got to just wipe our hands clean of the whole Anthony Davis thing and just move forward. We got these 2 young guys that we're excited about.
Woo, the Nico project is fucking
They
done.
really
I
had
am
two.
so happy.
They drafted two of the best point guards of the generation in the same draft and really fucking fumbled both of them. That's just insane to me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Luca and Brunson were same draft.
Like
Yeah,
that is like
2018.
maybe the best draft of any team ever, and they absolutely shit their pants with both of them.
that's crazy. But yeah, 14 games
Oh,
for Anthony Davis as a Dallas Maverick.
Yeah,
If
and
that's
then
all
that
we
it,
too,
get,
the whole defense that we haven't seen any basketball from you, Mr. Davis. You don't play
yeah.
and you look fat.
And what I think is super ironic too is the reason why he's out right now is because of a calf issue, which, if you guys will recall, was what ended Luka's career in Dallas. He played on Christmas Day, had a calf strain, and we never saw him again in a Mavs uniform. So the irony is just it can't write it up better than that. So,
Jalen Suggs, welcome to Dallas, buddy.
oh,
That would be fantastic if that was one of the hypothetical like
the
acquisitions.
one Zach Lowe threw out a bunch of ideas, and I don't think either fan base likes this idea, but I'm kind of intrigued by uh, Anthony Davis for Rudy Gobert, and then the Timberwolves point guards headed over to Dallas.
Point
I
guards.
Yes, Conley and Rob Dillingham.
Oh, so you're gonna
They
give
get
them no.
Dilly? They get Dilly? Oh, I would like that. I
I
would love
see.
Dillingham
I
next
told
to
them you
you.
don't have to give them Conley. I don't think the Timberwolves should give up Conley. You can get that trade done with just giving up Dillingham and picks
No,
and
you need
Gobert.
Conley's 10 mil. You need Conley's 10 mil to make up the difference between
Oh, you
Gobert and
can't
you.
give them anyone else. Like just
I mean Nas Reed,
fuck
maybe.
no.
Yeah, that's it. I don't
I
think
guess
that's
you
gonna
do.
happen.
I just think it's weird because then Dante DiVincenzo is your only point guard, and he's not a point guard.
Fair enough. Yeah, then the Timberwolves are kind of out of
I
point
don't think
guards.
there's any team you can tell them right now that you're going to get Anthony Davis and they're going to be jumping out of their pants happy.
Jumping
Yes.
out of their pants.
They're not gonna
Um,
be like, oh yeah, we get a 34-year-old injury-prone guy that's played.
he's 32. He's 32.
Sorry,
But no, I
sorry.
mean, yeah, I don't think that if they do trade him, like they're not getting much.
He's
Like you said,
fool's
he's
gold,
32.
bro.
He's
Like if any
54
team
mil
that
this year. He's 58 next year. He's $62.7 million player
any
option in 2027.
he is making more number of millions than games he will play.
I
He's
want
making
to go
over $1
back.
million
I want
dollars
to
a
go back
game.
and I want to clip when we were having this Dallas conversation, and I was just like, I don't know, man. And I went down the list of games played for AD, and you guys were like, yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I'm pretty sure I did such a 180 on the Mavs at some point in the offseason that I picked AD as my defensive player of the year,
You
which
did do that.
absolutely insane. One of the dumbest things I ever said.
yeah.
Honestly,
Well,
that's right on par with like when we were doing the NBA Cup predictions, and I was like, I think
the
Ja's
Bulls.
gonna catch the hot hand.
Oh,
And it just immediately the season went to shit. So yeah, maybe I'll just go like full Brian Windhorst arc and just stop making predictions because I clearly don't know what I'm doing. Do we have
So
time for one more? Do you have one more for us, Nate?
let's see. Do I have one more?
Well, did have a take there.
Oh
I was
yeah,
gonna
go for
say
it, man.
we're scrolling
Yeah,
through. We haven't even
I wasn't
discussed
even ready to
half
move
of it.
on.
Oh, my
Let me
bad.
control the pace.
My
I'm the
fault. You
point
got it.
guard.
Yeah,
Today I am the point guard.
you
I
got it,
am
TJ McConnell. Go ahead.
today I am Josh Okogie.
Hmm.
All right. So let's hear words out of your mouth, Josie.
Yeah, so there's two things at play here. One, they do have to make the most of this pick that they have. Obviously, they don't have their next pick until fucking Shohei Ohtani's contract is up. That's how long it is. But you can make the best of that pick while having Anthony Davis. So here's what I'm saying. Don't trade AD this year. Wait until next year. See if you can find a team in the offseason that is desperate
Hmm.
and try to make the most of that because you traded Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis. You can't just, I like the idea of moving on, but you can't just dump him because I mean, it is a sunk cost, but at the end of the
That's
day,
not
your fans know that you traded Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis.
that's not a crazy thing to say, and I actually think that in a perfect world that would be the best option. But are you holding Anthony Davis out then when he's healthy?
Sure. Who
Yeah, I
cares?
mean they're
Yeah,
already
that's
kind of
a
doing
Hold
it.
on, wait. Did you say when he's healthy? Because that's never. So you don't have to
okay.
worry about that.
Eventually, he will be cleared by doctors to play again this season. When he is cleared by those doctors and they announce that he is whatever healthy means being Anthony Davis, do you just have those doctors not clear him?
No,
Mr.
because he'll
Krabs,
he'll
I
suit
have an
up.
idea.
He'll suit up. He'll play 5 minutes. He'll roll his ankle. Be out for another 40 games. Done.
Because it's also
Mr. Krabs, I have an idea.
What's your idea?
Mr. Krabs.
I'm glad,
I have an
Mitch, I'm so glad you
idea.
asked. So we'd have to hold off until January 8th because a certain individual did sign an extension, so we have to wait. But it almost works out
Oh
perfectly
God,
money-wise
wait.
He's
if
sending
we
him back to New
send
Orleans.
I hate you so
Cabral
much.
himself
Shut the
the
fuck up,
land
bro.
of the
Yeah.
six, and the Mavs get back one Emmanuel
Yeah.
quickly and
Yeah,
Jakob Poeltl.
no. Eat my fucking balls, bro.
What?
Eat my balls.
Eli Balls.
I would
No, I'm
rather.
not suggesting that as a serious idea, but I just had to say that out loud to Mitch.
That's just
Yeah.
shit for both teams.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It's not great for either of them, but
No.
the
And
money
what's
just
funny?
happens to work almost perfectly. So
I also I don't want to be the negative Nancy, but this draft is so imperative for Dallas, but it sucks if they don't get top five because in terms of what fit they need, that's where your money is going to be. There are so many like kind of combo forwards in this draft that are going to be great for a lot of teams. Dallas does not need another combo forward. And they need, quite frankly, they need to pray to God
That
that
Darren
either
Peterson.
I mean, it,
I
okay,
mean,
I know this sounds crazy. Honestly, AJ would make more sense next to Coop. Darren Peterson is going to go to a place where like the ball is in his hands, and that's like period. Coop, I think I like the idea of an uncomfortable Coop forced to make more like kind of like point forwardy plays. Um,
poop, poop.
but like we said, if they fall to like 8, 7, they're fucked, man. Like this pick is not going to be the needle moving pick that like 3, 4, 5 would have been.
Are there any
And
other guards projected, like point guards projected to go in the top 10?
Mikael Brown Jr.
Oh my,
yeah,
okay,
you
yeah,
said
yeah.
that dude from Louisville, right?
Yes, he's a
Yeah.
freshman. He's pretty good.
That's where Brown's from. Brown's goes to Louisville.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
Uh,
he. Why did I think he was Texas? I'm dumb.
Braylon Mullins from UConn's pretty
What
good, but he's
about
more of a combo guard.
Yeah, Braylon Mullins not a point guard though.
I just said
What
he's a
about
combo
I just
guard.
Fueling?
remember last time I looked at the big board, I didn't see a whole lot of PG on there
This is not the point guard draft. No,
other than Pete.
Mitch, how you say that dude's name from Alabama, the point guard, the sophomore?
from
Labaron Filon?
Alabama.
Labaron, I don't know how to say his name. I liked him a little bit last year. I don't think he's like really
Oh,
ready, but
no, sorry. He's the guy from Link. I
no,
don't
I don't
know.
know. Him and Tahad Pettiford are like the two like returning point guards because I haven't
Yeah,
really
he's a.
like I don't really know too much about this year's college
I
basketball
know a
class
little bit
yet.
about
I'll
Tahad.
tell
I'm just
you.
getting my toes into the water on
Okay,
college basketball this year,
Yeah,
but
I'll need until March to get there, I think. But
I,
true.
I I have watched mid-major basketball hoops from Hofstra
Yeah,
University, and that's it.
if you are not Darren Peterson, Cam Boozer, or DeBonza, you are not going to be the guy that like alters a franchise. But there are
hey, watch
like,
out. Caleb Wilson looks like a fucking dog, man.
Yeah,
yeah, all
actually,
right.
I think you could. I
Here,
think you could throw
hold
Caleb
on.
Wilson in that mix.
I have you're all right.
Not like same
What
level, but he's still. I think he could still be.
he's an all-star. He's not like the changing
Yeah, okay,
like
fair. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I
Okay.
can get behind that.
before both of you interrupted me, that was literally my next tier. But you know,
Okay,
thanks
All right.
for that.
But oh no, isn't there like I thought there and is JT Toppin also in that? Or,
JT
He's
is
not.
not.
no,
No, he's
who's
not
the?
a
Okay,
I thought
first
there
of
was
all,
one. I
hold
thought
up.
there was like one other guy.
JT's coming.
I thought there's like
JT will be in this draft,
I
but
thought there's kind of like a definitive top five. I thought it was the big three, and then there was two others that were kind of.
Nate Ament, maybe.
so
Is it I meant?
So okay, so there's Mikel, there's Nate, there's Wilson, there's Twande, and there's Koa. Those are the guys that are like within
Tunde's
that.
the
Oh
from
yeah,
Baylor, right?
Kobe.
Yeah, yeah. So like those would be the guys that I would consider like your consensus top talents outside of the three. But I mean, it sucks because this is a very forward heavy draft, and Dallas does not need to chuck more forwards into the rotation. Like it's just it sucks because whatever the AD like return is, this is going to be like a rough next season for Dallas regardless. And hey man, that might be good for Coop, but it's certainly not what the city of Dallas signed up for when they traded away Luca.
100%.
Yeah, they're going to do a hard rebuild, which I don't think is what they expected. 2 years removed from a finals appearance.
Yeah.
With a 24-year-old or 25-year-old superstar on your team. So
Absolutely.
what a depressing turn of events for that. Like at least like I guess like with the Knicks for years, I never had hope like that, and then at least to have it ripped away from me. So I guess in ways, is that like the worst kind of thing to have where you were so close and had that
Yeah,
kind of hope?
Zach Lowe was talking about this on his pod. Like the only comparisons you can make to this is like franchises just moving to a whole different city, like, and you just actually losing the whole franchise. Like that's the only equivalent you could really find.
It
it's
feels like
basically
you
the
actually
same.
lost the franchise without losing, the
Exactly.
brand, and
Yeah.
it's like the Mavericks are a shell of themselves. Anyways, I guess that's all I have for the Would You Rather questions. So that is going to do it for this episode. Unless I asked you in the beginning, do you have any more burning things you would like to get off of your chest? Any of you guys?
Scotty Barnes is a 40% three-point shooter. You heard it here first, folks. It
Man,
is holding strong.
That is factually a correct statement at this moment in time. It may not be in a few months, but it could be.
we haven't talked a word about the Thunder since I've been on this podcast, and I
That's
feel
good. We're
like
gonna keep doing. No, I'm just kidding.
we got to
Yeah,
get them in here, man.
yeah, we
Best
will.
team in basketball.
I mean, yeah, that's not even a debate right now.
They're
I
so
don't think.
good. OKC is so good that
They're
I
so
almost
good.
find
It's
myself
boring to
rooting
talk
against them.
about.
I almost like want them to lose because it's like I go into every game watching them just expecting them to roll. So they've gotten to that level of like 2016
Yeah, I've
Warriors type
admittedly
level.
after the first six or seven. Oh fuck!
Oh, there it
I
is.
said as soon as I actually didn't mean to do that, but
Neither did I.
I don't
Yeah, you
enjoy
know it.
watching the Thunder games because they just beat the shit out of every one of their opponents, and it's
I
like
do
not even.
agree with that, but AJ Mitchell has been a major reason to
Yes,
tune
he
in.
has. He would be really nice to have on the Knicks right now if they didn't trade away that pick. That would have been really
Mm,
awesome.
I mean, it's fun to watch OKC games and have the bingo card of who's going to have the pop-off game today that you
Yeah.
didn't know
Yeah,
about.
Betting
right.
on the Thunder is
like
one of the worst things you can do.
No,
Like
it's
Thunder
not
players.
actually. I've made
Thunder
a lot
players?
of money.
I was going to
Over
say.
AJ Mitchell over points. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander always hits 30. There's a lot of
SGA is
bets
the
that
only
are
one I
always
do.
there.
AJ has fucked me like 3 times now.
Hey man,
Amen.
I've hit 6 straight.
Anyways, that's gonna do it for this episode. Hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to check us out on all of our socials at 2for1hoops. Our Instagram, you can go. I'm not actually not gonna say that. I was gonna make a funny joke, but I'm not gonna make a funny joke. So you can check out. We don't use our Twitter, anyways. Yeah, just check out our socials. They'll be linked in the description below. If you're listening to this on Spotify or on YouTube, stay tuned for the next episode. We will be back on Monday with just us four or us three, depending on how many of us we get together. But we'll be back on Monday. Thank you all for tuning in and have a great rest of your night.